What's up, everybody? Makes you retire rich with Ojeda here. And Donald Trump thinks the sun comes up just to hear him crow. You know, he actually thinks that he has a get out of jail free card for life. And it still hasn't set into his orange Cheeto laced head that executive privilege cannot and will not save him. Trump still can't wrap his head around the fact that only the current occupant of the executive branch, you know, the one that received a record 81 million legally cast votes, is the guy who can actually invoke executive privilege. And that guy happens to be a man of integrity and honor, and his name is President Joe Biden.
Former President Trump will not be able to use executive privilege to block evidence from the January 6th committee. Former President Trump is vowing to keep fighting against the release of the White House records. In a statement he wrote, they are trying once again to use Congress to persecute their political opponents. Their requests are not based on law or reality. It's just a game to these politicians. Let's bring in NBC's justice correspondent, Pete Williams. Are we getting a setup for a legal battle to decide this, Pete?
Oh, without question, and here's why. The courts have never said what authority a former president has to assert executive privilege. What the Supreme Court said in 1977 in a lawsuit involving former President Nixon is that when the incumbent president says material ought to be turned over, that weakens the former president's claim that it shouldn't be.
Folks, this is far from over. Trump is going to try and claim executive privilege 10 more times, and each time President Biden is going to tell him to go kick rocks. Let me just make one thing clear here. President Biden is not denying Trump's requests for executive privilege for political reasons. He's denying them because there's nothing privileged about the information requested. Trump planned, strategized, financed, executed, and tried to cover up an insurrection against our government. In most countries, including ours, that is the highest crime of the land, treason. In the old days, do you know what the punishment was for treason? Do you know what the punishment was for treason across the globe? It was death. Trump is infatuated with dictatorships like North Korea, Saudi Arabia, Russia, and many others. Does he not understand what those countries do to people when they are accused of treason? And notice how I said accused, not tried and convicted. They skip those parts altogether. Trump should be grateful that he is an American, and he doesn't realize what he would be facing if he was living in a different country. The January 6th committee has one job, and that is to investigate what happened on January the 6th, who was responsible, who paid for it, what their intentions were, and then leave it to the Justice Department to decide what to do with the results. And Trump is scared of what they will uncover, and he should be, because he knows what he did. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.